All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the new calendar component in the Skuid Chicago release. I wanted to walk through some of the basic steps of setting this up. And we're going to start on a page with a model that's built on the Salesforce event object. Now you can use any object or a lot of other data sources as well to build a calendar. We're not limited to just the event object, but we're going to start with this because this is where a lot of our users are going to start. Now, one thing that models will do is start you off with a limit of 20 records. We're actually going to up this to 100, mainly because of how the calendar works. Sometimes you might wonder why you're not seeing everything that you should be seeing, and that may be one of the reasons for that. So our model's set up on the events object, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my my calendar component here in our component library. I'm going to drag that onto the page, okay? And you can see it's rendering there. We've got some options here for general properties for the calendar, but I'm going to go to the Sources tab in our properties here. This is going to let me set up an event source for this calendar. I'm going to click Add Event Source, and I'll expand this so we can see what that gives us. I'm going to pick the model, Salesforce Events. I'm going to name that event source. And we can have multiple event sources in a single calendar. We can see that it gave us a number of actions pre-configured right out of the box. On click is in reference to when you click on an event in a calendar, it gives you a view modal. The create event actions are what happen when you click on a cell on a date to create something. It gives you a standard create event modal. And then your event update actions are what happen when you click to drag an event to reschedule it or to resize it to change the duration. And it comes with these pre-configured. You can remove these or you can add them back again. And you can also configure and change what happens in each one of those. Well, what we're going to do here in this first step is set up our event source without changing any of the actions. So I've given it a name. I'm going to pick a title field. So this is what will show up on the event template in the calendar. And the subject field is a good one if we're using the Salesforce event object. And then this is a new feature in the V2 calendar, is the ability to pick either date and time or date only. So if we're going with the date time field, then we'll go ahead and select date and time, which is what I'm going to do here. And so I can pick my start field, which is going to be start date time, and then my end field, which will be end date time. Those are standard fields on the Salesforce event object. There's also an option to pick an all day field, which I can select here. This is looking for a checkbox or a Boolean field that designates whether or not an event is an all-day event or not all day. And so that's a standard field available on the event object in Salesforce. So the V2 calendar can support all-day events and multi-day events, and this is one of the ways that we can do that. I'm not going to look at the grouping field at this point. That's something that you can use to set up scheduling views. The event template is something that will be defined automatically based on the fields that we select, or we can go in and customize it if we want. And then we can pick a color for our calendar here. I'm just going to pick an orange, hit save, and then preview this calendar that we've set up. And there we go. We can see our calendar on this page. We can see some of our multi-day events. We can see some of our non-all-day events. If I click on this, I will get a standard modal where I can go and edit those details. I can also click to create a new event. I can also click and drag to create a new multi-day event. And you can see that all day is selected by default there. It also comes with a week view and a day view, as well as a list view that gives you an agenda of these event records. And that's how we do our basic setup of an event source in the calendar component.